Hi, good morning, Vicretta. We're live.
Good morning, Ellie. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Good morning, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Rojas. I am an accredited rep here at Dreamers Together, and we also have Vicretta. She is a case manager, and I'll let you guys hear from her what she does here at Dreamers Together.
Um, well, I basically work with the community and I assist them on their AOS journey. Whether it be a packet review or helping you prep your forms and instructing you on where to send them once we are done with prepping and releasing them to you. And we also go out to as far as RFEs as well. So again, we are the AOS department, Adjustment of Status department, and we assist you with prepping your case. We assist you with packet reviews, and we also assist you with any RFEs you have. So, if you get an RFE, don't panic. Book with us, and we'll be able to review that RFE for you. If you are putting your packet together and you're excited, you got it done, but now you're stuck, book a packet review. We'll be able to review the packet, make notes, and we'll meet. We'll talk about, the packet. We'll talk about the changes needed, and then we'll release the notes to you for you to work on your packet. Or you simply don't want to feel overwhelmed and you want us to prep the packet, um, book a consultation. We will be able to conduct the consultation and figure out if we're able to take your case. If we're able to take your case, we then explain a little bit about the process and the fee to you in regards to prepping your case. If we can't take your case, no worries. We can always refer you out to our vetted attorneys. That is how the section of D2G, the AOS section of D2G, functions.
Thank you for that, Vicretta. Some things that we wanted to touch this week was adjustment of status in Texas. So we've all heard the news of what is a possibility that's going to happen with DACA recipients in Texas. If this gets signed, DACA recipients in Texas could lose their employment authorization document that would allow them, that usually allows them to work. They would not be authorized legally to continue to work in Texas if this were the case, and also they would lose the DACA protection. They would lose, I'm sorry, they would stop accruing they would start accruing unlawful presence. I have it all wrong. They will start accruing unlawful presence. They'll only have the DACA protection. They won't be able to continue to work legally. So one thing that we are suggesting, recommending, telling you we highly recommend you to do is if you are in Texas and you are in the process of adjustment of status, we highly recommend that you do your I-765 application for employment authorization. It's under a different category. It's valid for 5 years. If you can continue to renew your DACA, continue to do so until something is in paper saying, hey, you can no longer have your EAD with DACA in Texas. But we do want everybody to have the I-765 under the AOS C09 category as a backup in case it were to happen, in case it were to get signed into place, then you'll still be able to work. What do you think, Fikreta?
I totally agree. For $265, definitely add that I-765 employment authorization document to your AOS packet. Um, and there's also kind of like some positive notes on that as well, because once you send that packet out and you get your receipts, your packet is now pending. Okay. So you apply for that I-765 with your AOS packet for $265 more. Why not? It's definitely great to keep as a backup in case something were to happen. Um, you'd have that authorization to work. Okay, you'd still keep DACA, and maybe authorization under DACA is no longer valid to work, but you would have that EAD that you filed for in your AOS packet, that employment authorization document that allows you to work, and it's good for 5 years. Not to mention, you're also going to have a pen when you are applying for your adjustment of status. Add that EAD card to your packet for 265 more. Okay, um, it is good for 5 years, and the upside to that is you're also going to have a pending AOS case. So ideally, you won't really be, accruing any unlawful presence, even though, um, whatever took effect with DACA, because you will have a pending AOS case and you will have that work authorization. So I totally agree with you, Ellie. For those of you that are doing your adjustment of status, cases, I want to say, I always say this to all my clients: if you don't want to do the permit, if you don't want to do the permission to travel, that's fine. They're taking a while, but definitely do the work authorization document for 265 to your AOS packet. Add it in. And
Yes.
yeah,
And that's also a good thing, and we don't talk about it often, is when you have that AOS, you are not accruing unlawful presence. You stop accruing unlawful presence. You don't want to accrue unlawful presence. There's other possibilities of employment-based sponsorship, which it's a whole different
yeah, different.
scenario if you have or you don't have unlawful presence, but you don't really, if you don't have any unlawful presence, you don't want to accrue it. If you
Yeah,
already have years of unlawful presence at this point, it really doesn't matter.
correct.
But
And I also want to rewind myself a bit. It's 260. I've just had a long morning, so the employment authorization document, the I-765 is 260, not 265. And I totally agree with you, Ali. Let's just give an example. If you are a visa overstay, okay? That visa expired and you've already accrued unlawful presence, okay? Um, doesn't really matter in your case because your visa expired years ago and you've already accrued unlawful presence, maybe until you got DACA. So, you know, it won't really affect you, correct, Ellie? Correct me if I'm wrong. For like a B2 visa overstay, who's been, without status for years until DACA came out, and they've already accrued all that unlawful presence. It doesn't really matter in your case. You've already accrued a lawful presence. So, you know, file your AOS and get that EAD document.
yeah. And now, if you got your that got underage and you've never ever let it lapse, then
Yeah.
you don't want to accrue any unlawful presence
No.
because in case you never are eligible for adjustment of status, your employer could file a petition for you because you haven't accrued enough unlawful presence for a waiver to be needed. You could do the employment base. You would have to go to consular process, but you don't need a waiver, so you're not triggering the 3 year or the 10 year bar. That's why we're talking about unlawful presence. Very important. Depending on how
Yes.
much you have, do you want to continue to accrue? If you don't have any at all, just move out of Texas. Easier said than done, of
Yeah.
course. That's basically the only options if this were to be passed, if it were to be signed, if it were to be placed in effect, then that's what it's looking like. That's what's going to happen. And again, this litigation has been going on, for a year, so
Hmm.
parties have had enough time to contest, and they haven't. So this is why we're at this point.
Yes, and I don't want you guys to, freak out if you have accrued unlawful presence. Again, if you have that legal entry, just go ahead and if you have a spouse or a child 21 or older who's a U.S. citizen, just go ahead and submit your AOS packets. What they're really looking for is that legal entry, okay? Again, just like Ellie said, if you have not accrued any unlawful presence, why accrue it at this point when, especially if there's ever an employment option out there for you guys. Um, but there are cases out there where people do want to, take that risk and, you know, accrue that unlawful presence because they might not have any other option or they don't want to move. That is totally up to you. Um, if for those of you that have accrued unlawful presence, it really doesn't matter. Again, if you're a visa overstay and it's been years since you got DACA, you've already accrued unlawful presence over 18.
Mhm.
So ideally, there's a few ways around this. You know what I mean? What's important is if you have that legal entry and if you have somebody, just go ahead and adjust your status through your U.S. citizen spouse or child. And again, apply for that EAD document with your adjustment status packet. That document is good for 5 years, so you don't, have to stress out if this litigation takes effect where they are going to um, no longer issue the EAD documents with your DACA applications or renewals. Oh, and one more thing, Ali, we just want to let you guys know that it still has not taken effect. Do not go submitting initial DACA applications. We'll certainly let you guys know when, you know, this all takes effect, give you the green light to, you know, submit those applications.
Yep. We have some questions on the side if we want to get those questions, and then
Let's go.
we'll move on to our next point. Let's see, we have Alex that says, good morning, Alex. How safe is it to travel with AP right now with a voluntary departure? You mean you left on your own voluntarily? You won't have any issues to travel with AP. You will be fine. You want to get MP Perez right here.
Hello, MP Perez. Hello, I received my green card and SI for SS number, but it has been 2 weeks and then hello, I received my green card and SI for SS number, but it's been 2 weeks and I didn't receive yet. Do I need to go to the SSA office? What do you suggest? So basically, you received your green card 2 weeks ago and you have not received your social security card. Yes, take your green card and head down to your SSA office.
That changed with Trump. When Trump came in, you automatically would get the Social Security card. Now it's been changed. Now you have to make an appointment if you don't get it in the mail. This one, Jonathan Sanchez. Hi, Jonathan. It says, I saw a post that recommended not to apply for first new DACA application. Why is that? So I actually found the post and I'll tell you what the post it says. New DACA applications. No one should be submitting new DACA applications. Please let's wait. We have a better Please let's wait until we have a better understanding of things. Gather all documents, stay ready. No diploma, go get a GED. Proof of address, proof of when you came to the US, and so on. We don't know if they will change any forms yet or add any new information. Do not get scammed. So that is why we are saying don't. Technically, you can if you want to because they've always accepted new applications, okay? It was stopped July 16 of 2021. That's when they said, "Hey, we're not approving any new DACA applications." If you wanted to submit an application July 17, 2021, you can. If you want to submit a new DACA application today, technically you can, but they're not going to be approving them. If you decide, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and do it," um, I'm going to go ahead and submit a new DACA application right now. Just again, the warning is be careful who you're doing it with, what you're doing, and we don't know if that's going to be the same criteria if it gets passed that they're going to continue to have, or if criteria is going to change. So that's kind of what we're saying. But again, technically, if you want to, yes, you can go ahead and do it. Let's see. Next, yes, go ahead.
Hello, Merali. Can I still request the combo card after sending the AOS packet? Yes, you can. If you do not add in the I-131 and the I-765 with your AOS packet, you can always just take the receipts from your pending case and attach them to your I-765 and your I-131 packet when you send it out. Hello, Yessi. Hello, for AOS for income-wise, what would you recommend to submit, the 40 credits or the job income? The beneficiary does make enough income. Child has zero income. He will be sponsoring. Okay, so I still like the 10 years and the 40 credits route. Okay, I know we're getting RFE'd, but we are entering this RFE. Clients are getting their interviews. They are getting their green cards, especially when it comes to um, a child petitioning for their parent. If you have the 10 years and the 40 credits, go ahead and submit them. Ask for that exemption on page 8 of I-45 and submit your SSA statement showing the 10 years and the 40 credits, as well as your EAD cards front and back. If you do not want to ask for the exemption, it's going to be, it's going to be more paperwork basically, okay? Your child is the petitioner, okay? And if your child has no income, they're going to want to know why. He has to write a statement, and if he or she did not file taxes, they're going to want the non-filers from the irs.gov website. So there is some more documentation that goes with your petitioner um, filing the traditional I-864. I would say just use your 10 years and your 40 credits if you have them. Again, submit all your EAD cards front and back, your SSA statement, and on page 8, check off that you are asking for the exemption from the traditional I-864. If you get RFE'd, just follow the RFE and just upload into your USCIS online account a cover letter, your SSA statement, and page 8 of the I-45 It's just so USCIS can give you that exemption. Internally.
There we go. Winter says any first time AP approvals. I actually saw an approval. It was approved October 1st, 2025, and you can see that approval here in the Facebook group. So yeah, we're actually starting to see that there are some approvals coming in. So hopefully USCIS is getting their things in order, and within the next few weeks, we will be seeing more AP approvals. If you are getting the message that says expedited request denied, something like that. I can't remember what it's exactly the wording, but something about expedited request denied. That means that usually is a glitch, and it usually means that your AP is about to be approved. So if you are getting that message, keep us posted. Let us know. But for
Yes.
AP, go to our sister group, DACA Dreamers Together Official. This one is the AOS group.
You're welcome, MP Perez. And C. Medina, for the medical exam, doesn't require all your shot records, or what exactly does it require? So, for the I-693, okay, that is the medical exam form. You are going to take, your vaccine history. You're going to take it to a civil surgeon, and that civil surgeon is designated by USCIS to perform the medical exam and, you know, give you any vaccines that you require. Once you take your medical exam to your civil surgeon at your appointment, he or she will then review them, and they will document, which vaccines you've had, and then they'll let you know which ones you require, and they'll let you know the fees um, to those vaccines that you require. So basically, you start with obtaining obviously, you start with scheduling a um, medical exam with the USCIS designated civil surgeon to perform that test. And then you would take your vaccine history with you to your medical appointment. And the civil surgeon will take a look at your vaccine history, and then he'll be able to document some of them, and he'll let you know which ones, that you maybe need another dose of or you're missing.
Mm. Stephanie says that does not apply for renewing DACA. I'm not sure what that was for. You can continue to renew DACA as usual right now. Okay. So
Yes.
if you are in Texas or any of the other 49 states, you can still continue to renew DACA as usual. If you are in Texas, you want to keep an eye out. We will have attorney Charles Cook come back this afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern time for a live. If you guys have more specific questions related to the litigation going on between DACA and Texas, feel free to join. That way, you know that it's coming from a reliable source. And especially if you're in Texas, you want to know what your options are going to be. Okay? So, 1 o'clock Eastern time with attorney Charles Cook.
Ellie, before we move on to the next question, we were also going to let our viewers know that effective October 28th, USCIS will no longer be accepting money orders or bank checks, okay? Um, you basically have the option of filing the G1650 or the G1450, okay? The G1650, that basically transfers the funds from your bank, or the G1450, USCIS would charge your credit card. But these are the two options you are going to have effective October 28th. They will no longer be taking bank checks or money orders. So we were going to touch base on that a bit today. We just want to let our viewers know. All right, so let's now move on to the next question. Can you explain the 40 credit? Um, we can explain a bit about the 40 credits, yes. Um, if you have 10 years of work, um, and there's a certain amount in each box, then you may very well have the 10 years and the 40 credits. And that just lets USCIS know, well, that just lets them know that you have worked where you have obtained what the credits that they're looking for and the years of work that they're looking for. And you can be exempt from the traditional I-485. Um, With that requirement, you have to be careful because sometimes people think, oh, I have 10 or more years of work and I have the 10 years and the 40 credits. You have to look at each year. You have to have at least 10 years of a figure in each year that makes you eligible for that year to have those 4 credits. Okay. So you have to look at your Social Security statement. That statement explains a little bit about um, retirement benefits, and it lets you know the years that you have worked, the Medicare system. You have to have, again, at least 10 years of work, and each year has to have a certain amount. You have to have 4 credits per year. Okay. You can have worked from 15 to 25. That's 10 years, but you have to make sure you have 4 credits per year. Okay. And that you can figure that amount out. And I believe in our Facebook group, we have that calculator that lets you figure out how much per credit per year. If you do indeed have the 10 years and the 40 credits, then you can ask USCIS to be exempt from your petitioner filing the traditional I-864, and you would submit that Social Security statement showing the 10 years and the 40 credits to USCIS as well as that exemption on page 8 of I-485. Ellie, would you like to add to that?
Just, I think you did say Social Security SSA.gov. That's where
Yes.
you want to pull your credits.
Yep.
No, you
Yes. I'm
explained it very
sorry. Yes.
well.
Go to SSA.gov, pull your SSA statement, and take a look and see if you have the 10 years of work and the 40 credits. Remember, it has to be 4 credits per year for 10 years.
Before we move on to the next one, I want to ask those that are watching, what process of adjustment of status are you in, and what is it that you need the additional help with? Because I know sometimes we have the resources here already in the Facebook group. We have guides, we do consultations, virtual consultations. So you don't really need to be in the same state as us to do the virtual consultations. Example, I had a client from Arizona. Um, we are she's half across the country from us, and we were able to get her green card approved. So what is stopping everybody from doing the adjustment of status? Are there not enough resources? Is there not enough information that we're providing? We have an attorney list. We kind of want to get everybody's feedback and see what's going on, because I know sometimes I see, like, I don't know where to start. Start with the guides here in the Facebook group. Look at the cover letter. If you are trying to do your adjustment of status on your own, you really have to sit down and really go through almost everybody's post on the Facebook group, and you learn a little bit from everybody. And then at the end of the day, you'll kind of put all that together and apply for your green card. But there are several resources, and especially right now, because we don't know what's going to happen to that guy in Texas, we want everybody that is eligible for a green card to go ahead and do not delay this process anymore. Send this application out as soon as you can. We are here.
Yes.
Vikreta, you mentioned we can review your packet. We can file the paperwork for you. We can do your translations. We have general AOS question sessions if you don't know
Where to
how
start?
to continue move. Yeah, where we can, help you, point you in the right direction. Give
Hmm.
us a call,
Yeah.
website, book an appointment. Let us know.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, I don't know where to start, you can book a Q&A with us. We'll open up a cover letter with you and we'll show you where you need to start. You know, that 30 minutes with, us here at Dreamers Together, it will really help you. So don't feel overwhelmed or don't just sit there on it because you don't know where to start.
Give us a call. Give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you. We want everybody to go ahead and, if you're eligible for a green card, we want everybody to go ahead and apply.
Yes, or hop onto our website and schedule a Q&A or a packet review or a full prep consultation. Um, all right, let's go on to the next question. Go ahead, Ellie.
Hey, you answered that one actually. Sarai says, can we still send AP with money order? I've seen somebody say USCIS is not accepting money orders anymore. After October 28, you have to send G1650 or
Mhm.
G1450, ACH or credit or debit card. I would recommend you to stick to ACHs, to the form Gs. G1650, I believe it is. They're not going to accept money orders, personal checks, cashier's check, anything paper. They won't. They say that they're trying to cut back on having to go deposit these out. So they want
Mhm.
electronic payments, G1650 or 1450. G1650 or G1450. Hector, hi Hector says just joined. So Texas residents can't be able to renew. No, that's not what we said, Hector. We are talking about the litigation going between Texas and DACA. If you are in Texas, you can continue to renew as usual right now. The litigation is still ongoing, and we're hoping to have something answered by the end of October, beginning of November. So if you're in Texas, keep an eye out and know what your options are in case this were to pass. But as of right now, you still can continue to renew your DACA
Yes.
as usual. Okay, next.
Hello, my husband has an interview in a couple of weeks. He answered no to committing crimes on the I-64. I'm presuming she means I-485. He did go to the courthouse to get his police record. All of them were mainly infractions and driving with no driver's license, but all got dismissed. Can we change our answer during the interview? No issue. Also, we have been married for 8 years. If for some reason we do not get approved on the spot, what exactly are they waiting for to finally approve? Here could take up to 120 for approval. Okay, so basically, to answer the first part of your question, yes, he's gonna want to take his driving history with him. Just make sure when you get that driving history from the courthouse, make sure that the clerk stamps it as like a certified copy, because you definitely want to be transparent with the officer if you did not disclose those infractions in that driving record, and fix it at the interview. So basically, when you go to the interview, yes, you need to fix that because the officer will ask if you've ever been arrested, cited, or charged, and you would let them know that you have, and you have the record with you. Also, we have been married for 8 years. If for some reason we did not get approval, okay, so plenty of my clients have not gotten approvals on the spots. Some are actually still pending for a few months now. If you do not get an approval on the spot, it doesn't mean your case is denied. It just means that the officer maybe needs more time to review your case, or they need to review it with the supervisor. And sometimes, believe it or not, maybe they're so busy they haven't even gotten to your case yet, even though you have your interview. So again, if you do not get an approval on the spot, yes, it could take 120 days or more, believe it or not. Just sit there and just wait for their response. Um, and you guys have been married for 8 years. I mean, so just take more marital evidence with you when you go to the interview. But please don't be discouraged if you don't get approval on the spot. Again, um, plenty of cases have not gotten approvals on the spot, and there are plenty of cases, unfortunately, that are still pending way more than 120 days. We just, have to wait it out, unfortunately.
I have a case that's been pending for almost 150 days, and every single time I try to do an out of normal processing time request for that specific case, it says that it's within normal.
Yeah. I did one for a case that a client went to their interview. 4 months later, we're still waiting for a decision. And USCIS responded by saying this case is not out of the normal processing time. Unfortunately, that's what they're doing.
Hmm.
Okay, so you know what? Let's answer a few more, Ali, and then we have to go. Let's see.
Gloria, are the details about the new law in Texas released yet? They're not released yet. Come watch Attorney Charles Cook live at 1 p.m.
Yes.
today. Okay? There we go
Winter
quickly.
Winter's talking about a legal entry. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Do you maybe need a legal entry, or you have one?
I think they're missing a legal entry to do AOS. That's the portion we asked. What is it that's stopping you from doing your AOS?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Winter. Yes, a legal entry is definitely needed for you to pursue adjustment of status, unless you had a parent maybe that had a sibling file or an employer file under 245I back in the day. But it's a whole nother area for another day. We spoke about it in the past. To apply for the green card with the 40 credits is only for people with legal entry. Um, you need that legal entry. It's not, the legal entry has nothing to do with the 10 years and the 40 credits. The legal entry is needed um, to show USCIS that you have been, um, you entered the US, having been inspected and admitted or paroled. Um, and then from there, you show that documentation to USCIS, and then you can adjust your status through your spouse or your US citizen child. The legal entry really has not much to do with the 10 years and the 40 credits. The 10 years and the 40 credits is just a process that's part of the AOS packet. Um, so, you need that legal entry to apply for AOS. And once you apply for AOS, you can, if you have the 10 years and the 40 credits, you can request it.
Having just the 40 credits is not going to get you a green card. The 40
No,
credits is part of the financial portion of the application to make sure that you're not going to be a public charge to the
charge.
US. You need a legal entry and you still need a petitioner. You don't need the 40 credits though.
Correct.
Book an
Again,
appointment with us, Maite, if you
yeah.
have more questions.
Again, like Ellie said, that is just the financial portion, and you're just basically asking to be exempt from the traditional I-864 filing because you have the 10 years and the 40 credits. Has nothing to do with it has nothing to do whether you are a good candidate for AOS.
Alex, first time AP, waiting for my approval, 4 weeks estimate. Don't trust that estimate too much,
Mm-mm,
Alex.
no.
Unfortunately, they're not accurate, but hopefully, let us know. You'll get an approval soon.
Lucas, hello Lucas. Have you ever entered in USA without being inspected and admitted or paroled? I need help with that question on Form I-485. I came to the United States by, I'm assuming he's saying crossing the border in '05 when I was 11. Okay, if you initially enter without inspection, your initial entry was without inspection. If you've ever entered without inspection, that question would be yes, that you have initially, entered without inspection.
Hmm.
And again, just please make sure you have your legal entry before you submit your AOS packets.
Kevie 33. I don't know if didn't or did my renewals on paper, but I want to do online for the first time. But some say this the switch will take the process longer. I'm worried. Don't believe what they're telling you. You can do online and you can wait 2 days or you can wait 9 months. Every single case is
Mm,
different. So, I personally recommend it online. Cheaper. You send it, you know that they gave you a receipt number. You'll just have to wait. But if you have DACA, don't believe people that say that it take them a week because they're probably not lying, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be your case too. So bare minimum 6 months. If you want to do it a year out in advance, you can. And do we do DACA renewals? Yes, we do. Do we have a video on how to do your DACA renewal on your own? Yes, we also do. It's the best video from what I hear that's out there. So also if you have more questions, join DACA Dreamers Together official, our sister group. This one, it says, I've been afraid of doing AP. I already, and I know I need to do it. Can I get some advice? My advice is you need to do it. That
yes.
is the bottom line is you need to do it. If you need help on advanced pro, book an appointment. You can do a consultation with the AP team and they will be able to file this for you. Okay, so it needs to get done.
Matt, I just got approved for my second AP. I am still waiting to see what would be my dates. I am in Texas, but would you recommend for me to go out in case my dates are around when they make a decision about Texas? I'm just afraid to be about and not able to come back if negative decision is made to Texas DACA recipients. AP is federal. It's really not, um, you know, if your advance parole is approved and you have your dates and you're good to go, go. Um, Texas is not going to is it's not going to block your AP. It's not necessarily going to stop you from completing AP. Elias, hello. I have my interview for AOS for marriage. I have the 40 credits. Do I still need to bring my pay stubs and letter detailing what I do for my job? If you have the 10 years and the 40 credits, you do not need to bring a letter from your employer. Um, I would just to be safe, I would probably take your SSA statement with you just in case, they don't find it and they ask for it. Ellie?
Judith, it needs to get done, Judith. Can I please get some advice? The advice is it needs to be done. And we understand
Yes.
everybody's scared to get it, but this is going to make a decision if you're going to be able to get a green card later, if you're eligible. Not everybody that does AP is going to be eligible for a green card, but it's going to make the process easier. So bottom line is it needs to be done. Nobody's had issues. You will not be the first person unless you have a
Yes.
criminal background. You have a warrant for your arrest. And yes, we recommend you stay away from it. But bottom line is it needs to get done and you're not going to have any issues. I have a question. Do I need a sponsor if my son applying through military? I have DACA. For that, we need more information. We don't know what your financial situation is. We don't know if you have 40 credits, so we need more information. If
Yeah.
you want to book an appointment with us just because there's more questions to be asked. Oh, both of us clicked on it. Mi hijo tenía su residencia condicional y hoy con ayuda de Dios enviará su paquete para que cambien de residencia condicional de 2 años por la de 10 años. Gracias por toda su ayuda. Me da mucho gusto saber eso, Rayo Avitia. We helped packet review for her son, conditional residence. So conditional residence, make sure you are renewing or not renewing. It's not a renewal. Make sure that you are submitting your removal of conditions within that 90-day time frame. You don't want to fall out of status. We also do removal of conditions, Creda and myself. We can prepare them with Dreamers together, of course, or we can review those for you. Book an appointment, everybody.
Johanna, is USCIS only doing is USCIS only doing ACH payments now? No. Again, if you send your packet out this week, you can add in a money order or a personal check. We're just letting you know, effective as of October 28th, they'll be doing the ACH transactions with the form G1650 or the credit card transactions with the form G1450. As of October 28th, they will no longer accept money orders, bank checks, or any of those paper payments.
Lucas. Hi, Lucas. Working on my AOS. I'm stuck on a couple of questions. Would you guys be able to help me if I make an appointment with you guys? Of course. Yes, we can help you. And I know I keep saying book an appointment because that's the only and easiest way that we can actually dedicate time to sit down and go over the questions that you have and your case is specific. For example, when we do the lives, they're like more general because there's a lot of questions to ask when it comes to preparing a packet. So when we sit down and we talk, we already know what the background of your case is. So whenever you're asking us questions, we know exactly what it is for your case. Versus here's kind of a general thing. It's kind of a one size fits all.
Mm-hmm.
When we sit down, it's not a one size fits all.
No,
It's
it's
for
not.
Lucas. This is for Lucas, designated for Lucas, especially for Lucas. What do we have to do for Lucas to get that green card? Okay.
Yep. And we
So
also, um, we ask you about your background as well, and no cases, no two cases are ever the same, okay?
what's the earliest you can renew your DACA? I did it 150 days before expiration. Yes, you can do 1 year in advance. Bare minimum is 6 months. We've had cases that take 5 to 7 months for approval. And you don't want to send your DACA renewal. You, you don't want to send your DACA renewal today and it's expire next month because you're going to be in deep trouble.
Yeah. Hello, Andres. Good morning. I have a question. Since my I-45 has been approved, and I also applied for I-765 employment authorization, which is still pending, I am curious about what will happen with that pending case I-765. All right, so
Don't you just love it?
congratulations on the approval of your I-45. That's That's great. That means that your green card was approved. Okay, the next step would probably be card is being produced, and then they'll let you know when they ship your card out. Now, when you look back at that pending I-765 in a few weeks or months, they are going to terminate it, and you will see an update of your I-765 case is terminated. Don't freak out over it. It just simply means that, you know what, the USCIS officer is looking at this like he's got his green card. He does not need this work permit, and they terminate the case. Now, people do get upset because, they had spent 260 on that for the I-765 for the, work authorization. There is nothing you can do about that. They are not going to refund you. But the great news is you got your green card. Congratulations. They're just going to terminate that pending I-765 because you no longer need it. And they are not going to refund your money.
In their eyes, they did their job. That was it.
But the great news is you got your green
USCIS,
card.
yeah,
Yeah.
hey,
Listen.
a win is still a win.
Yes, yes, it is. Alex, thank you for everything that you guys are doing for us. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Alex. We really appreciate you guys as well. And that's why we don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed in your process. And we don't want anything in if you can adjust your status and get that green card, we want to know what's standing in your way basically and why.
Oh, I know this, David. Hey, David. David says, for AP, do you recommend doing it by mail or online? Any online approvals that were done already in the group? USCIS, for some reason, released the AP online version, but every time I try, and I've seen other members try to submit an AP online, they have a glitch saying it's not the correct category you've selected. So right now, we recommend staying away from online applications. Just do regular mail.
Oops, I think I skipped one for you, Ellie.
Ok, Olivia dice, estoy juntada con mi pareja, él es DACA y tenemos hijos. La mayor tiene 21 y quiere que ella lo pida, pero siempre hemos puesto en los impuestos como casados, aunque no lo estamos. ¿Habrá problema al someter la residencia? Olivia, depende de qué estado existe el Common Law Marriage, pero puede ser un problema. Depende de nuevamente qué estado están. Si existe Common Law Marriage, vayan, hablen con la persona quien le está preparando sus taxes. Tienen que tener mucho cuidado porque este tipo de cosas puede ser como fraude, porque parejas casadas reciben ciertos beneficios que personas no casadas reciban. Así es que vayan, hablan con la persona quien les está haciendo los impuestos, tienen common law marriage para residencia, depende qué documentos van a estar metiendo para la residencia. Eso es algo que tendrían que ver. Si necesitan más detalles, yo les recomiendo hagan una cita porque no sé, van a estar usando 40 créditos, van a estar usando impuestos, en qué estado están. They are They're not married, but they've been filing taxes together. Depending on what state is
Correct.
common law marriage a thing. Is it going to be a problem for AOS? I don't know because I don't know what state they're in. Are they going to be doing 40 credits? Are they going to be doing IRS? I say book an appointment. We'll try to figure it out with them.
Yes, and you have to remember something about common law marriages too. You still need that paperwork. You can't just show them proof that you've been living together, and you have to show them the paperwork that your state recognizes your marriage, as a common law marriage.
Hmm.
All right, Grace. Hello, Grace. When doing AOS, spouse does not qualify for AOS due to multiple entries, etc. Since the application asks for their info, can this affect them? With multiple entries, it varies. You have to figure out when those multiple entries were done. Basically, when you entered, how long you stayed, and when you left, and then when you came back. So it really varies on the dates. And the application unfortunately does ask about multiple entries. So really, with the multiple entry question, you can book a consultation with us, and we can try to figure out the dates for you. And you know, if I would say with multiple entries again, book a consultation. I mean, book a question session with us. Let us know the dates. And then we'll let you know if you should proceed with an attorney. And you should ideally also have a FOIA, okay? A FOIA done. But multiple entries, again, it depends on the dates and the entries, you know. It can or cannot affect you. It depends again, and you might want to get a FOIA done as well. All right, a few more, Ellie, and I think we're good to go. We have Sylvia. Do you recommend doing AP and I-131 form together? That is, I leave that up to my clients because that is, that is a decision I like to leave up to them because they are taking a while. Okay, permission to travel under a pending AOS is taking a while. I say if you don't need it, don't file for it. If you don't want to try because it takes a while. Um, but I would definitely say do the I-765 permission to work. But the permission to travel, for those of you that want to try for the combo card, the combo card is. I haven't really seen a combo card lately. Maybe one. What they do is they issue the I-765 separate and the I-131 separate. So you may get a combo card. It may take months, or you might just get your I-131 and your I-761 approved separately. And they are taking a while, especially permission to work, Ellie. The I-131, while your AOS case is pending, that one is taking a while. Let's see here.
This one says, Becky, good morning. If they take the work and permit away from taxes and just leave DACA, will my husband be able to do Advanced Pro and come back safely with DACA? Trying to see if it's worth it. It's worth it. As until we don't have any other information, it's still worth it. You still need to
Yes.
do that, Advanced Pro now. Once that AP is approved and something happens, then we can tell you more of what to do. But there's no point in losing months because that's the only thing that we're doing right now is we're losing time. Oh, do I apply? Do I not apply? Apply for it. We'll figure it out later. It's only $630, which is still 630, but it's worth the shot. Okay, so stop losing time. Go ahead and get it done. Once it's approved, once we know more about what's going to happen to Texas, then we'll be able to say yes, travel or don't travel. But I can't tell you don't do it,
Not
and
yet.
then everybody gets approved, and you're going to say, oh well, no. Go ahead and take the risk. Take the risk and apply. Um, definitely come back with questions. Yeah, Becky, please apply.
Okay, let's see. Narvaez, are there any scholarships to help with the DACA application costs? Um,
Mm,
with the D2GLE, are we going to have any scholarships? Do you know? Have you heard yet? I think
yes.
we're going to have a few, right?
Yep, we are.
Okay. Again, go into our AOS Facebook group and then you'll, I think there was a post in there about the scholarships. If there is not, just post your question and then we'll get to you in there. But I believe there are some scholarships that will help with the DACA application costs. You're welcome, Andres. Okay, so basically for Q, Advanced Pro does not guarantee you a green card. It entry that's needed to file your adjustment of status case. Does it mean that you are good to go? You're a great candidate for AOS? No. Um, what affects your AOS is your background. Okay, multiple entries, a criminal record. Those affect your background. Generally, for an individual that has that one initial entry that they enter without inspection, and now they have that legal entry, they have no criminal background, um, no other factors, then generally you would sound like a great candidate for AOS. Okay, so AP does not guarantee you a green card. AP advanced parole is needed because you need that legal entry to submit your AOS packet. So example, if you have no criminal history, you have that one initial entry without inspection, the only piece of that puzzle you're missing is your legal entry. You can't submit your AOS case without it. Um, Now, I say criminal record, but it depends. You know what I mean? It depends on what it is. So again, AP does not guarantee your green card. It just needed to fill out your AOS paperwork and submit a legal entry to USCIS with your paperwork. It is one of the pieces that is needed to your AOS packet is a legal entry. It does not guarantee your green card.
Claudia Munoz Montes says, my residency expired 2023. I submitted my renewal in November 2022. Nothing has happened with that yet, but I also submitted my N400 for citizenship in January 2025, and nothing has happened with that either. Do you know any idea why this is happening? This is actually the pretty norm.
Yeah.
For I-751s, it's more than 2 years wait, and you don't have to have it to apply for the N400, which you did correctly, and also N400s, it's a wait. So at some point, they'll probably be making a decision, calling you for an interview for your citizenship before the removal of conditions. At that interview, they can remove your conditions and approve your citizenship. But you still had to do the I-751 to be in status, but this is actually pretty normal. Now, you can reach out to USCIS and try to submit out of normal processing times, and they may say, hey, this is just the time frame that we're working with. But as of right now, you've done everything correctly.
All right, a few more and we have to go. Let's see. We have Mauricio. Can you apply to AP and renew DACA at the same time? So your DACA is a separate process and your advanced parole is a separate process. If you're renewing your DACA, you're submitting the paperwork for DACA, and then you want to submit the paperwork for advanced parole. That is a separate application. That's fine too. All right, Q. What is
Okay.
AOS? Ellie, go right ahead.
So I think they're watching us from YouTube. So you need to join us on Facebook. And one of
Yes.
the biggest excuses, and I will say excuse because it's something that has a very easy solution, is one of the biggest excuses that I hear people say is, I don't have Facebook. Make a Facebook. Come join us on Facebook. There is a lot to learn. We explain what is AOS, adjustment of status. What is adjustment of status? We talk a little bit about consular process so we can show the difference between AOS consular process. They were asking about legal entry. You'll learn what a legal entry is and what it helps you to. So you want to go ahead and join us on the Facebook group. But to answer your question, AOS is adjustment of status.
Okay, just a few more and we have to go. Let's see, Mauricio. I'm renewing DACA, but I want to apply to AP since it's taking 9 months for first timers. Can I apply to AP while my DACA renewal is in process? As long as your DACA is current, you can apply for advanced parole. All right, let's see. All right. I think this would be the last one for us. Jose, what happens if the judge decides to not accept the briefs and keep everything the same? And if he does stop DACA permits in Texas, will there be any orderly wind down and they would let permits phase out by expiration date? In the past cases, he seemed hesitant to allow new applicants. We don't have the we don't have the legal facts about the litigation that is happening in Texas yet, so we really, really should stay put and wait. And then again, Cook will be on today at 1 o'clock. Okay, so we really don't, we really can't give you any of the facts yet because we don't have them. Nothing has been fully initiated yet. They are still litigating. Okay. Again, join Cook today at 1 p.m. and he'll maybe give us or he'll update us with some further information. All right,
Those were some
everyone.
really good questions.
Yes. Yep.
Guys, please, please, please make a Facebook account if you don't have one. I know you were watching us from YouTube. We had Alex, Lucas, Kevia33. We love everybody watching us from YouTube, but I highly recommend make a Facebook account. You don't have to have friends on there because I know that's one of the things is I don't want to have friends. You don't have to just get a Facebook group so you can be in there with us. You can read through everybody's stories. We can all learn. There is so much to learn. And if you
Yes.
want a green card, join Facebook. You'll learn a lot. And maybe, you're eligible and you didn't even know you were eligible.
Till next time, everyone, have yourselves a great day.
Bye bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.